Donald Trump did an interview with the New York Times, and now we have audio from it. And do you remember, because it wasn't very long ago, when Trump was out there railing against forever wars, regime change invasions, and was gonna be the president of peace? No more new wars, he would say. And now he gets asked, how long are we going to be in Venezuela? How long are we going to be, quote unquote, running Venezuela? And Trump says, oh, baby, a long time.
How long do you think you'll be running Venezuela?
Only time will tell.
Like 3 months, 6 months, a year, longer?
I would say much longer than that.
Much longer. And
We have to rebuild. You have to rebuild the country, and we will rebuild it in a very profitable way.
Much longer than a year, he says. That sounds exactly like the thing that his followers tried to convince me he was not going to do. They would say, Trump didn't start any new wars when he was president, which is kind of a strange claim to make. But Trump did peace. And now you have him going, oh, yeah, we're going to run the country. Oh, we're going to rebuild the country. And you think, this country? No, Venezuela. Well, but it'll be profitable. That's the thing that's going to help America, because we'll get a bunch of oil money. Is that going to help all of us as much as it's going to help the oil executives who Trump was literally just in a meeting with? Than this.
The perfect attack.
Now we move to his interview with Sean Hannity.
Think of what we've done. I mean, we've taken over a whole country. We're going to make the country strong and good, and they'll ultimately be able to vote and put somebody in that they like. The oil that we've taken $4 billion worth of oil in one day, and that'll increase. We're going to have it rebuilt. All the big oil companies are coming in. They're going to make a lot of money, and Venezuela's going to get some of that money, and we're going to get some of that money. And we brought stability to the region. We brought stability and much lower oil prices.
So he's just making a bunch of stuff up, but the idea in a history book, you would think, surely that's not really how it went. The president surely didn't say they invaded and took over a country just to take the oil, and that they were going to run it for a while. With what legal authority internationally? Nah. There was actually a clip of Trump getting asked, what constraints do you have on your powers? And he says, none, except for my own morality. Only my stance on what I can and can't do is the only thing that holds me in balance, which you might remember. Let me see if I can find that clip. I might have it. You might remember there were these little people called the founders that really didn't like that idea of the only constraint on the president's power being their own judgment.
Is there anything?
While you listen to this, please do click the subscribe button. You can see there about half of our viewers in the last 7 days are not subscribed. So let's make that ratio a little bit better by clicking the subscribe button, getting the word out about this show.
Is there anything that could stop you if you wanted to?
Yeah, there's one thing, my own morality, my own mind. It's the only thing that can stop, and that's very good. I don't need international law. I'm not looking to hurt people.
Do you feel your administration needs to abide by international law on the global stage?
Yeah, I do. I do. But it depends what your definition of international law is. You mean in Greenland?
That's because and then it goes on to that. So, I mean, international law is cool if I like it. If I like the particular one that you're talking about. I mean, law, world, bigger than country, and I'm big, so great, but that doesn't mean no. It means good with that, to use his linguistic skill level for a second there. Then you have some of the people who supported him before a little skeptical about this, Megyn Kelly.
But obviously, we can't go around invading Greenland. We can't go around invading any countries. We can't go invade Cuba. He mentioned them. We can't go invade Iran. We cannot go invade Colombia or just kick the guy's ass, as Trump is saying, and not expect any negative consequences to us. But
yeah, so I mean, one of the things we were talking about in the office before we started recording today's show is that it's kind of a strange environment to be in, where if you think about the context of past presidents doing something with the military or a big decision that became a scandal, The reason it was a scandal was because there was an aspect of it that the president didn't want to admit to. There was some secret that was being exposed, and then they got exposed for it, which was the scandal. There's something strange about Trump just being like, yeah, I'm doing that. International law be damned. I'll do whatever I want. I want to take over Venezuela. We're going to take over Venezuela, and then we'll see how it goes. And then we're going to take their oil. Because it's so brazen, it's almost difficult to know, other than going, that's crazy, how to frame the argument in a way where it feels like you're exposing a scandal, something bad. Because he's like, yeah, that, you go, wait, are you telling me you're going to put our American lives at risk to go take over a foreign country, pick their leader, and take their resources? I think the reason you're really doing this is because you want to help out your oil exec friends. And he goes, yeah. And you go, no, wait, you just admitted. What do I do next? Here's Mark Wayne Mullen. We've been watching these clips of people saying, because they're all on the record before being like, yeah, we shouldn't do regime change wars. Now they have to switch it around. So because they can't switch their actual stance because they just need to support Trump, or they can't switch if they support him on this, they have to change the language. This isn't a regime change war, as Mike Johnson put it. It is changing the behavior of a regime through our military. Or what did Dave Rubin say? This isn't a war. This isn't a regime change war for oil. This is, we're switching a regime and maybe we get oil or something crazy like that. So here's Mark Wayne Mullen, a Republican senator, trying his linguistic tricks.
No. What we did is we took out an illegitimate president. He was never duly elected. So there can't be a regime change if he should have never been put in place to begin with.
Was his vice president duly elected?
I don't know how their elections happened. I don't know if they're on the same ticket or separate. I don't know how that works.
Well, then why are we talking to you? Why are we talking to you then? You don't even know what you're talking about.
Give me a joke.
And that's the whole thing. It's either it is a regime change war and you are taking over the country and running it for a while, but with no plan for what comes next, or you're leaving the current regime in place, but you just took Maduro. But then his regime that you say, which is illegitimate, I should say, and super corrupt and dictatorial and all that, but that's still in place. So either way, you can't have it both ways or neither ways, depending on what we're talking about here. Then you have back to Trump's Fox News interview.
And we've done great everywhere. It's amazing. It's an amazing phenomena that on
one phenomenon, multiple phenomena. Just getting us clear on that, okay?
On two great everywhere. It's amazing. It's an amazing phenomena that on 2 or 3 occasions, I don't know, it depends on how far you want to go back, but if you go back a long way, the sitting president, whether it's Democrat or Republican, always loses the midterm. Even if they've done well, almost always. And, you'd think it would be like a 50-50 deal. Even if the president's done a great job, I think we've done a great job. We've done maybe the best job ever in the first year. But they always seem to lose the midterm. There's something down deep psychologically with the voters that they want maybe a check or something. I don't know what it is exactly, but you would think when you have a victory and then on top of the victory you have a great successful presidency, it would be an automatic win. But it's never been a win. I mean, almost never been.
So it's true often the president, the party that had the president win in the previous election suffers in the midterms. But my hope is we're going to see a big swing that will be more than just that phenomena, as he said, and instead will be indicative of a real rejection, not just in a trend sense, now we're going to give the other party a try and have split government, but a real rejection completely of his party. And then Trump was fantasizing about the Maduro operation and his very able-bodied self whizzing down a rope.
But the safe house wasn't safe because they had blowtorches that go through steel like it's butter. They didn't have to use them. But we have, these are great people. These are really brave people. Even coming down those ropes, they're coming down ropes off the helicopter and they run them. I was thinking to myself, I wonder if I could do that. I'm going to have to give it a try sometime. But they do it like it's a stairway, like it's a beautiful stairway.
No, that's not. No, what? You know what? Does this sound mean? Is this gonna get Secret Service on me? I would love to sponsor an event where Trump is in a helicopter and tries to drop down in a rope, like down the thing. See if he can hold on to it and go down. I'm being serious. This is not, and we'll put a cushion. He won't get hurt. But I would like to see him because I know his grip strength's not that strong. He hasn't done much physical activity other than golfing, and he's a little. The gravity has done a number, right? To sort of there's a lot here that he's gonna have to be holding here, a lot there. He's gonna have to hold here, and I think he would and then cushion, and then we'll catch him. But I would love to sponsor that event. We could do it at the White House before the UFC event. He gets on a helicopter. He's in a Speedo. Don't know why, but feels like it would add just sort of ratings. He loves ratings. Jumps down, grabs the rope, and sees how long before he lets go. That he whizzes down like a staircase, to use his phrase. I think that would be interesting to watch. Then we see Obama do it. And we compare. Because Trump says he's in better shape than Obama. I would love to see them both swing down on a rope and see who can do it. What is this?
Some of these women, they're so stupid.
What? What? Did y'all see Trump is announcing that he's determined for the good of our country, our military budget for 2027 should be $1.5 trillion. So he already increased it up to $1 trillion. Now he's saying $1.5 trillion. That sounds like war budget type stuff. That's so much money for an annual military budget. I love our military. I want them to be well funded. I want them to be well paid. I want to have the best helicopters and the best ropes that people go down on the helicopters from. I want all of it. Excuse me. 1.5 trillion sounds a little bit too much. And by a little, I mean a lot. We don't have money. Sorry for the ACA subsidies. Oh no, we don't have money for Medicaid, but baby, we got money for Trump to have another military parade. Boy, do we have money to go take over Venezuela, like Laura Ingraham said, because the Venezuelan people would be happy for their country to be used to pay us back for our invasions of Afghanistan and Iraq. We'll invade them to make our money back from Afghanistan and Iraq. But first, we have to spend a bunch of money to do the invasion, which takes a really big military budget. Interesting. Moving forward. Not now, Gavin. I saw this edit of Gavin Newsom. He a dog. Let me just put it that way. I'm able to separate, ooh, that was cool, from objective analysis. And I give you my opinion, but I'm saying, but I let myself have a moment where I just saw like, bam, 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 and he's like, and slowed down his hand motion. He's like, yeah, interesting. Yes. And it was pretty hype.